Good morning. I'm Jasmine Anderson. 2 of the 4 people accused of spreading body parts across the island are expected back in court today. Amanda Wallace and Stephen Brown of Amityville are charged with concealing a human corpse and tampering with evidence in the deaths of Donna Connealy and an unidentified man. Their body parts were found scattered in a Babylon Park, West Babylon, and Bethpage State Park. None of the 4 suspects are charged with murder. They were all released without bail and ordered to wear GPS monitoring devices. You could read the latest about this story. Just click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box on our homepage. A Nassau man is accused of murdering his 82-year-old wife in Wantagh. Steve Langford has a story.
Saturday, just before noon at this home on Oakland Avenue in Wantagh, the stress 74-year-old Anthony Heaton felt caring for his ailing 82-year-old wife Mary proved to be overwhelming, according to Nassau County Police.
He couldn't take it, and he had planned to take her life and then commit suicide.
Anthony Heaton carried out the first part of his plan, police say, but not the second. Mary Heaton was strangled, according to police, and stabbed more than 40 times with a kitchen knife, a prosecutor said. Nassau County Police say when an officer arrived here, he was met at the door by Anthony Heaton, who announced he had stabbed his wife.
He was calm, he was cooperative. He sat on the couch when the officer approached him.
Heaton did not call 911 after he stabbed his wife. The prosecutor said he left her for dead. Police say the man tried to call his son, couldn't reach him, then went out for a drive, returning home to try his son again, whose distress at the news led to a call for paramedics, who sent police to the home in Wantagh to check things out.
I just saw him the other day. I just saw him out. He was out doing gardening in the yard. He said hi. Didn't seem like anything out of the ordinary.
A court-appointed defense attorney told a judge he believes there might be some kind of temporary insanity involved, adding Heaton basically dedicated his life to taking care of his wife and had, until this weekend, never been anything but a loving husband to her. Anthony Heaton has been charged with murder and is in custody on suicide watch. Steve Langford for NewsdayTV.
Steve, thank you. Read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box. Only in Newsday, we're learning more about the planned New York Climate Exchange led by Stony Brook University. Governor's Island will be home to the exchange. The project is projected to create 7,000 green jobs, over 2,000 construction jobs, generate $1 billion for the local economy, and reach thousands with educational programming.
The intent is to use the campus itself to expose people so that they can learn about climate issues, they can learn about technology, innovation, and they can see the research underway in practice.
Construction is set to begin in 2026. Voters across the island head to the polls tomorrow to pick mayors, trustees, and justices. There's a mayor's race in Head of the Harbor and trustee races in that village and in East Williston, Great Neck Estates, Northport, and Valley Stream. A new art exhibit on the island is shining light on women and Latin American artists on the East End. The Heritage and Home exhibit opened on Friday at the Floyd Memorial Library in Greenport. It includes work from over a dozen local artists, with works ranging from fine to folk art.
For this show, I wanted to go a step forward, and the idea is that you're idolizing these women, right? Like, we use posters for movie stars and for rock stars and pop stars, but in this case, I'm having a poster of someone that's meaningful in my life. In this case, it's my mother.
Check it out. The show runs through May 12th. The streets were painted green this weekend, but not with envy, as Patchogue came together to celebrate St. Paddy's Day. Thousands lined the streets for the village's annual St. Paddy's Day parade yesterday, all decked out in their finest green. The parade ran from Route 112 to West Avenue and included floats, singers, and marching bands playing traditional Irish music. Get your brackets ready. March Madness is here, but St. John's is not dancing. Long Island's Rick Pitino and the Red Storm were not included in yesterday's NCAA tournament bracket reveal. It came after St. John's lost to UConn in the Big East tournament semifinals. Pitino said the Red Storm would not accept an NIT bid. A stunning loss for Stony Brook women's basketball team. Their bid to complete a season sweep of the Coastal Athletic Association regular season came up short yesterday. The top-seeded Seawolves lost to number 7 Drexel 68-60 in the title game. Only in Newsday, dementia and driving. Long Island families and doctors are wrestling when to take the keys away. Macy Eglund has a story.
My mother, Nancy Urban, was an amazing woman.
Stephanie Garcia of Islip Terrace, remembering her mom, who died of Alzheimer's disease in 2020.
She was the light of every party, of every room.
5 years before she passed, Stephanie got a call from her mom who was driving. She was lost, trying to find a store that had been shut down for over 10 years.
So that was something that definitely hit me and said, wait, something's up.
Nancy was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's disease, and eventually the keys had to be taken away, a decision that's difficult to make for many families.
You know, I'm telling a 54-year-old woman, you can't drive anymore. It was her life. It was her freedom.
It becomes a very profoundly life-altering feature of somebody's condition, especially on Long Island, where driving is almost an absolute necessity.
Dr. Alan Mazurek says Alzheimer's and dementia impact reaction time, making driving dangerous for the individual and others on the road. He says families should ask their doctor for help and resources.
I recommend that the family use the doctor as the quote-unquote bad guy.
In some states, a dementia diagnosis must be reported to authorities who can ultimately revoke licenses, but not in New York. Right now, local experts say over 60,000 Long Islanders are living with the disease.
I think it's not taken seriously enough, and I think that there needs to be more education and prevention out there.
While every case and diagnosis is different, Dr. Mazurek says those with concerns can request a driver reevaluation at the DMV or do an online assessment.
It has to be individually customized to the individual patient's needs and society's needs, and you have to find that balance.
Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Eglund.
Macy, thank you. Read more about this story on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by King O'Rourke Automotive Group.
Traffic and transit woes. Fans are really enjoying the Islanders' new home, but not getting there. Jamie Stewart has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Let's go, Islanders! Let's go, baby!
And Islanders fans are going by car and train. But which do they prefer?
Train or car?
Train.
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 Train versus car, you say car all the way, why?
Just, it's easier because you don't have to worry about the times for the trains and the options on the way home and stuff, especially. Just, it's easier to just jump in the car and go.
The Islanders have now been in their new home in Elmont for more than 2 years. And while no one can deny the aesthetics of the new barn,
the arena's beautiful. I mean, I can't knock the arena. It's great.
The commute to and from UBS Arena has fans pretty divided.
Commuting, I think the train is better.
Why is parking better than the train?
Because you can leave quicker. The train, you got to wait, and then there's a big mob of people. You get in your car, you close the door, and you can just go.
So I went to Twitter, or X, and took an unscientific poll on how fans feel about getting the whole UBS Arena experience. For more than 600 votes, the results are pretty split. Fans seem to love the convenience of the LIRR, while traveling by car, however, causes some issues.
This is my first time taking the train to the game. I've driven the last couple times, and the parking situation's fun.
And in the near future, commuters who drive will face some more bumps in the road, with construction underway for a 415,000 square foot retail village south of Hempstead Turnpike set to open this summer. In addition, over the next 2 years, the racetrack at Belmont Park will undergo a complete renovation. Inside UBS Arena, prices are a bit higher than they were at the Coliseum, but
for a family of 4 to attend an Islanders game, it costs an average of about $446, including food and parking. That according to the Fan Cost Index of 2022. Now that may seem like a lot, but it puts the Isles at 16 out of 32 National Hockey League teams.
most fans I spoke with say the one aspect they miss the most when going to Islanders games, those epic Coliseum tailgates.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's why it'll never be the same, but it's good. It's great.
Train gating.
Yeah, train gating.
For NewsdayTV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
Okay, train gating it is. Read more about UBS Arena and the Islanders on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Let's chat about weather. Checking out your hyper-local forecast. Sun and clouds today. Highs around 50 degrees. That's a look at your day planner. Tomorrow, we are mostly sunny and highs in the upper 40s. Nothing to complain about for the first day of spring. And let's talk about your first day of spring, first week of spring, that is. A look at your 7-day forecast. Spring begins tomorrow with highs in the 40s with we're slightly warming up Wednesday, which is not too bad. And we are going to see some rain. We'll talk about it as we move closer to Saturday. That's a look at your forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for watching.